All right, good afternoon and welcome everybody to the Monday's edition of The Buzz. Of course, you know The Buzz is your social media program on television, and of course it's exciting as always to be here on your dial. It's Monday the 19th of November 2018. My name is Patience. I'm here with Blossom. Good afternoon, Blossom.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. There's nothing like thank God it's Monday because then your work starts. So I'm happy to be on show.
Exactly. You have to be at work today. But how did the weekend go?
It was amazing and tiring at the same time.
Quite a restful one for me, I dare say.
Yeah, you said so.
Yeah, I told you I was going to sleep all through, and that's exactly what I did. In fact, I woke up this morning with swollen eyes, and you know, I was happy seeing the swollen eyes. It shows that I rested.
You slept a lot.
Welcome to the show. Right here on The Buzz, we discuss issues bordering on politics, current affairs, national issues, entertainment, lifestyle, whatever it is, as long as it trends on social media, it will make an appearance on this program. And of course, we are not alone on the program. We're with our usual panelists. And this buzzing Monday afternoon, it's great to welcome back the Akogun of this program, I dare say. Yes, he's here every Monday. Consistency, or Mr. Consistent, that's his middle name. He is a renowned journalist. He has written virtually all of the tabloids across board in top positions, and today he runs an online news platform. It's a pleasure to have Akogun Gani Kayode Balogun with us on the show. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Thank you for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
All right, Mr. Gordy is fast becoming a recurrent decima on this program. He was here last Monday, last Friday. He's here Monday again. You're becoming a shareholder. Yeah. Welcome, Mr. Gordy.
Good afternoon. I think my Friday was a special arrangement.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't part of it. That's why when the news on the news was read, I wasn't given the opportunity to comment because I was even eager.
Yes, to comment. Anyways, Mr. Ofose is a renowned journalist as well, and is also president, Brand Journalist Association of Nigeria.
Listen, you have not observed anything. My new haircut.
Your new haircut?
Oh!
I beg your pardon, sir. Sorry, I missed that.
It's not trending.
It's not trending. Exactly. That's why I didn't notice. But it looks good on you, though.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope I can bring mine that low.
Really?
Yeah, I have to walk up the courage.
You have been like this forever.
Go try it.
All right, welcome, Mr. Foster. Also joining us on the program is one of our regulars, too. He's a public relations guru, and he's also a very, very versatile and articulate social commentator and a businessman. Mr. Peter Osangbi. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Patience.
Good afternoon. You're becoming a very special friend of mine, and I know you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's a money man.
I want to take you to the next level.
Oh my word.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, so Blossom, we're ready to dig in.
Yes, we are ready.
All right. So remember, viewers, the number to use is 0802-836-8971. SMS only. And our first story today is what a lot of people are actually buzzing about on social media. It's on the Saudi journalist that was executed sometime in October. Finally, the CIA has concluded on Khashoggi's execution. Now, to the mysterious disappearance that's prompted an outcry around the world, Saudi journalist and Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi, known for criticizing the Saudi government. Of course, we all know how he disappeared after going into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. What happened up until now is still shrouded in a lot of misery, but a lot of people are positing, you know, what could have happened to the man. Anyways, the Saudi government claimed Khashoggi left its consulate in one piece through the back door, but then there were no footage, you know, of him leaving. I don't know how a CCTV camera can record you entering but not see you going out. But anyways, the Saudi government later changed the story and said Khashoggi may have died accidentally while being interrogated, you know, by their men within the consulate. But the Turkish government called the Saudi story bullshit. And they claim that a team of 15 Saudi agents arrived on 2 government aircraft and waited for Khashoggi. They killed him within 2 hours of his arrival at the consulate. He had gone to collect documents, for his planned marriage. Now, this is not just a Saudi or a Turkey issue. We know this is also an American problem, because we know American and Saudi Arabia are allies. Yeah. We all know about the $100 billion ammunition and deal and all of that. But then the United States cannot be seen to be an ally to a country that kills journalists. We understand that. Plus, allegedly. Plus, the late Khashoggi was an American resident, and he was also a writer for the Washington Post. Thereby, the Americans have to do a lot to get into the root of this matter. Well, now the CIA has concluded that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, aka MBS, ordered the assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Istanbul, contradicting what the Saudi government claimed, saying they were not involved in the killing. Here we are now, gentlemen, with what the CIA is saying. But first, before we talk, there is a 3D animation, depicting what actually happened to Khashoggi that I found online. And I think this just puts everything into perspective for everybody. So let's quickly see that clip. We'll come back to the table.
On October 2nd, wearing his Apple Watch, Jamal Khashoggi was lured to Saudi Arabia's consulate in Istanbul, Turkey, on the pretext of collecting documents for his upcoming marriage. His fiancée, Hatice Cengiz, accompanied him.
Take my phone and wait outside. I will bring the documents.
3 hours later, as Cengiz sees 6 vehicles with tinted windows leaving the consulate, she got worried.
The consulate closed at 3:30. Why hasn't Jamal come out?
He has already left from the back door.
Calling Jamal's friend, an advisor to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan,
I think the Saudis have kidnapped Jamal.
In fact, he was already dead. That very morning, 9 royal guards flew into Istanbul from Riyadh on 2 chartered jets and waited inside the consulate for the intended target.
Okay, he's coming in. Everybody ready?
Maher Abdulaziz Mutrib, a security officer of the Crown Prince, was known to Khashoggi as the two had worked together at the Saudi consulate in London. Seeing him,
Mutrib, what is he doing here? He's a threat.
Before he can flee, the men stop him.
Help! Help!
Khashoggi was a critic of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, next in line to the throne.
Seems you like writing, huh? Now let's see how you can.
Alarmed, the Saudi consulate Mohammed Al-Otaibi can be heard telling the guards,
Do this outside. You will get me into trouble.
Mutrib silences him with some chilling words.
Shut up. If you want to stay alive when you get back to Saudi.
Beheading Khashoggi ISIS style and dismembering his body. Dissolving it in acid. Once the dastardly deed was done, Turkish newspaper Yeni Safak reports that Mutrib made 4 calls to the head of MBS's office in Saudi. Earlier, Mutrib had already made sure
there should be no Turkish staff members working at the consul residence today.
At around 4 p.m., 6 vehicles left for the Saudi consul residence just 200 yards away. This was when Cengiz phoned for help. By then, it was already too late. At 5:15 p.m., a second jet carrying 6 Saudi officials landed in Istanbul, picked up their comrades who had landed earlier that morning, and flew back to Riyadh an hour later. Next day, as news came about Khashoggi's disappearance, the Saudis denied any involvement. But Turkish authorities say they have audio evidence that he was killed inside the consulate, possibly through Khashoggi's Apple Watch and or tapping all phone signals in and around the Saudi consulate. These audio recordings were later played to CIA Director Gina Haspel. Faced with mounting evidence, the Saudis admitted that it was possible Khashoggi died during interrogation.
Welcome back, gentlemen. Well, I think that is the closest they've gotten to, like enacting what actually happened to the late Saudi journalist. Now, last year, Saudi Arabia got a new leader, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and everybody thought Saudi Arabia was going to move forward, in terms of meeting up with exposure other countries, were opening up to. We saw how finally women were allowed to drive. He opened up the theaters, women can now go. We thought a lot was going to happen in terms of Saudi Arabia leaving that conservative kind of country we've always known it for into maybe a more progressive one. But here we are, just months down the line. But let me hear it from you. With this new stand of the CIA on the execution of Khashoggi, what do you think about this, Akobu?
Well, apart from the usual noise, nothing will happen.
Really?
Salman is an ally of President Trump.
Yeah.
He's a business partner. He's also an ally for the control of Iran, or the containment of Iran in the Middle East, along with Israel and Egypt. In fact, Saudi Arabia is waging a war, what's called war of atrocity, in Yemen right now, where they are fully paying for. They are totally responsible for the destruction of Yemen. And we all know that as far as Donald Trump is president, nothing will happen because there's over $1 trillion investment of Saudis in New York Stock Exchange. And any move to threaten or antagonize them will crash the world biggest.
Devastating, yeah.
So that's why they can't even do the same thing to China, because these people have realized that capitalism does not have eyes. It's wherever the money goes
Exactly.
that it follows. And the US is paying the price for open-ended capitalism, as it were. So, Khashoggi is unfortunate what happened. Of course, what's happened, because everybody knew. Boudini, the Turkish president, of course, is one of the most articulate presidents in the world. And he knows exactly what happened, and he announced it under 48 hours. If I had not for him, any other country, they would have gotten away, would not have been at this level. But Boudini is such a strong character and insisted. Despite the fact that under international law, Saudi consulate is Saudi Arabia land in Istanbul. It will not take the murder of a foreigner lying low.
Of course.
So as far as I'm concerned, and I've said this many times, I've written about it in the last 2 weeks, Khashoggi's death is unfortunate, but as long as Donald Trump is president, CIA, FBI can write everything they want to write. Nothing absolutely.
It's not even, if I may come in there, it's not even just Donald Trump. Because what you saw there is just conjecture. Nobody knows what
exactly transpired. Yeah.
But I agree with Akubu, but differing in the sense that it is not whether he's a friend of Donald Trump or not. Rather, Saudi Arabia is of strategic importance to the United States of America. They cannot compromise that for anything at all.
And not even for the death of
yes.
one journalist.
And my worry too is for Khashoggi, he may have lived a double life. You see, when you work for the intelligence agency, your life is at stake. Whether it is the Nigerian intelligence agency or the American or the Russian one, there's a problem. He was a media aide to the former director of state intelligence in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. And we do not know really how he left and why he left. And when he left, he started being critical of the family, of the system. And you can't do that. The next thing is that you will be taken out. So sadly, he's paid the price, ought not to ordinarily be, but these are the consequences of, working for intelligence agencies, and consequences too of the seeming relationship between America and Saudi Arabia. America's strategic interests cannot be compromised for anything at all, not even for Donald Trump's mother.
Mr. Foster, do you share the same opinion? Seeing as which, what I find more heartbreaking about this is the fact that his body, when someone dies, maybe because I'm African, you pay the last respect, you bury the person properly and all of that, but till now, his body still hasn't been.
People that.
Let me come in here. I think all of this is international politics and diplomacy, the way you look at it. I've always wanted to juxtapose any international politics to local. and see how we have played out here. You can see just one man has been killed, and the entire world stood still, including this morning on CNN. He dominated the entire space from 6 a.m. till I left.
Yeah.
It goes to show the value some other countries placed on human life. We also had a journalist in the mall of Khashoggi who was killed in a letter bomb in this country. Delegiwa was killed. Delegiwa rather. Nothing has happened. And those who we've always pointed finger at, nothing has happened. What have we done? What has the media done? As the media dedicated, would they now begin to see that when they are talking about Kensara Wiwa's issue, there is an Atiku campaign live that they have to break the program and view it? For me, Khashoggi is far away from here. Well, because of the technology and everything, we seem to be part of it. Now, what do we do in our own country? Every day in this country, people die. They die even a more violent death than Khashoggi. What happened? In this country, in this Lagos, we had somebody who is contesting an election. Someone moved into his roof, take off the roof, according to the story, killed him, and up to today, don't one person.
Funsho William.
Yeah.
Funsho William. Bola Ige, one of the brightest human beings we ever had in this country. Up to today, in fact, if you bring up that story to today, some people are so weird that will tell you, forget that thing don't pass. Now we are here discussing a Saudi man who had worked with government. And I also would like to beg to disagree with Peter that says that the man must have lived a double life. And I'm telling you, if you want to be a strong and a most respectable journalist, that whatever you put in the paper on TV is respected, you must have worked with these guys, first and foremost. You must have had an alliances with them. Because you can't, some of these stories don't come from the moon. It is, because if you put one and one together, if you are working with these people, you will know what they are up to. And the guy was not going to Saudi anyway. He wanted to marry a Turkish. And he needed to get his papers right.
Marriage documents, yeah.
He needed to get his papers right before he get married. And he looked at the consulate in his wife's country, in his fiance's country, and he said, let me go there and pick. And he gets in there, he never came out. Now, this morning, like Akogo Gugu said, that is that story. If you like from now, even if Russia, China, Japan, all of them come together, Trump does not believe in that report. If you go to Reuters this morning, he called it very premature. And he said he's going to get, when he gets the report tomorrow, he will know where the report, who wrote the report. Now, he has a mindset that he's not going to believe that the Saudi crown prince was involved in that matter. So he ends.
Yeah.
You know, right from the beginning, Trump has always tried not to associate the murder, you know, with the Saudi crown. We all know why. We know why he's been very careful, but then he seems frustrated, though, with the CIA.
Another thing I want to comment
Go
there
ahead.
is that if you see, like my great-grandmother used to say, he said, if you know those of your children that usually will go and pick the crayfish and eat before they use the crayfish for food, if you want to go and give it to them to keep. Not a single one will miss. Now, we also know that the Turkey president, Erdogan, has a very terrible human rights problem across the world. That some of the people, even some of the Turkish in Germany, are very critical of him. And you also know what happened when he went to France, when he went to England and took pictures with some Turkish-born German players. You knew what happened. Now the man has seen an opportunity to elevate himself. He has seen an opportunity to elevate the same man that we all criticize of being authoritarian, of being killing. You remember the coup, that phantom coup that happened, and how many people were arrested, the generals and the rest of it. Now, the same man who has been accused of murder in the past is now fronting and running very fast telling everybody that, shouting to high heaven.
But
See,
then,
I know what happened.
would you call that fronting?
No,
I don't think it's fronting.
No, what I'm saying is that the man has capitalized on that very well. It has used it.
Capitalized because it happened on his soil.
I don't know.
I think any other government would also do what he's doing.
Do you think that if it was an American citizen that was killed and Turkey is not part, maybe kind of having a very good relationship with the Americans, would they have done that?
Well, I might not be able to.
The Turkey relationship and the Saudi relationship is strained.
We know, but I might not be able to. I think that because of where that crime was committed, right inside the consulate.
He has also indicted himself by saying that because where the Saudi consulate is a Saudi Arabia soil. And what he could do is just about to announce it. That's why it cannot even affect an arrest.
Well, I don't. But then, let's hear your closing remarks on this.
I think everything is being said. For two reasons, really. Diplomatic niceties does not extend to murder all over the world.
Exactly.
Even in New York, where the UN is, the only thing you enjoy is traffic parking. But if you go into murder, the American police will arrest you. They may deport you, but you'll be arrested. So having said that, I think we need to look at it from the point of international espionage. Don't forget that the Crown Prince has made up his mind that he wanted to create Saudi Arabia in the image of Dubai in the next 20 years. And most people who are not aware don't know that what they see in Dubai is actually a facade. There are still places in facade that things you cannot do. Basically, there are beaches that you cannot wear.
All this bikini.
All this. I think that's what is going on. And the Americans have made up their mind that this is a partner they cannot play with. So based on that reality, we can grandstand as much as we want. Nothing will happen to the campus.
Of course.
Mr. Oksangbi, any closing remarks?
No, just to reiterate that the strategic importance of Saudi Arabia to America cannot be compromised under any circumstance.
So this is a very unfortunate
situation.
It's
unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
So my conclusion really is, it will come in form of a question to either Agogun or my public relations very good friend Peter. Does it mean that whoever United States supports can get away with murder?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Palestine.
Is that what it means?
Palestine.
Is that what it means?
Listen now, Palestinians are dying every day. People are dying in Congo. People are dying in, what's that country that changed its name? From the South American country. People are dying every day. If they are of no strategic importance to the United States, you will not hear about it.
Yeah.
So that answers your question?
Yes. So.
All right, let's move it along because of our time. Blossom.
Okay, yes, we have Chris Okotie calls for an interim government. The founder and general overseer of the Household of God Church, Reverend Chris Okotie, has called for an interim government that will be mandated with the responsibility of national reconciliation and reconstruction of Nigeria's continuous existence as a great nation. And according to him, his call for an interim government is the only paradigm that is realistic at this point and will be mandated with the responsibility of national reconciliation and reconstruction so that Nigeria can continue to exist as a great nation. Well, according to Reverend Okotie, no partisan political equilibrium can salvage Nigeria from the present situation that it finds itself. He opined that there is a solution that is away from the natural political propensities that Nigerians have witnessed so far.
All right, okay.
That is huge.
We have it there.
I think Mr. Peter attends absolutely.
Yeah, but we have a clip we have to see.
I'm Catholic.
To the call. We have a clip we have to see first. Let's go and see the clip first, then we'll come back.
I wanted to come to you.
It does appear the Okotie letter currently in circulation is gathering momentum. The content is a compendium of how Nigeria must travel towards 2019 and his proposal to lead that shift. These bishops seem to share those sentiments necessitating their visit.
We just came together now to confirm what God has been saying over the years. So it's actually a confirmation. And the way God is going to move in this country is not the way we have been used to.
For us to fix Nigeria, we must have an interim government that is not partisan in philosophy or in ideology, but has an ad hoc responsibility to fix our nation. There's no government that can fix Nigeria when it comes to restructuring. It's not possible. A subsisting government would not decimate its power base so that it can restructure a nation that it has suzerainty over. It's not going to happen. So no matter what anybody is telling you that they're going to restructure and they're going to do that, that in itself is a complete fallacy. It's not possible because of partisan consideration and all the sentiments that accrue therefrom or thereto. There are existential adversaries that confront us right now that require a paradigm shift. And that is why I've made the clarion call to all of those people who are patriots within the political parties to consider me as a consensus remedial facilitator, to set up an interim government to fix Nigeria first before anything else. Because no extant government, no subsisting government can fix Nigeria. It is absolutely impossible. And that is why I'm saying that the Okotie option is the third option and truly the only option.
All right, we heard it there from the Reverend himself. In case you don't know, he's declared for president again under his party, Fresh Party. Okay, so let's take it away. We'll start with you, Mr. Sandy.
Yeah, well, I sympathize with him.
Really?
Wow.
He's come again. You know, he does this. It's now like a ritual. You know, he does this every 4 years. And since I grew up to have sense and be following Nigeria's political history, I've always known Chris Okotie to be contesting the election and all that. And he comes up with such tantrums all the time. His call for interim national government is reckless, is unacceptable to me, and I urge people not to even listen to him. But in his press conference, he said something which for me is instructive.
Okay.
And if you permit me to just quote here.
Go ahead. Okay.
He said, what Nigeria needs now is a symbol of unity. In other words, he went ahead to extrapolate that we should look for a unifier. Now, what
someone who epitomizes, you know, that.
So what does that mean? That for me, that's the only meat there.
Okay.
He's only drawn our attention to what some of us already know and some persons don't know. And that is the very fact that this country has never been this disunited under President Muhammadu Buhari. And there's an urgent need for us to get somebody really that will unify this country. In fact, it is so sad, it is so bad that these days the commonest thing is, where are you from? Or what religion? Hitherto, it wasn't like that. It wasn't that very pronounced. So, and the president's body language, his utterances and actions have shown that he's not even interested in the unity of this country. In fact, in those days, most presidents will tell you, most Nigerian presidents will tell you that they cannot compromise the unity of Nigeria. Babangida, even in his dictatorship, will say that. Obasanjo in the debate said that. Yar'Adua said that. Jonathan said that. General Gowon says that. So, but we must take this very seriously, that the country is at presently at a precipice. And if this action is not taken to get a unifier, we may be going down the drain.
Okay. All right.
Well, I want to say first and foremost, for those who do not agree with Reverend Chris Okotie, that what he said is entirely his opinion. It's also some people's opinion that military should come back. So some people's opinion that Buhari should continue. There's some people's opinion that another person, we need another person. Now, if you look at what Chris said, is the statement that Peter attributed to him from the basis of his national interim government. Because you cannot get, as we speak right now in this country, if you like from now, begin to campaign, you cannot get that person that he described in that statement.
In the whole of
this political ecosystem that we currently have.
Yeah, let me interject. I think he also mentioned the fact that what we have now is like option A and option B, and him being the option C.
Actually,
in fact, the only option.
So yes,
we have 97 options.
No, I'm coming.
Recognized by INEC.
I'm coming.
All right,
because,
go ahead.
Why I say that is his opinion is that even at some point, at the basis of the fact that we have lost it all and we want to come to an interim government, which something I've always liked to say, repeat, don't set a very bad precedent. It will come back tomorrow. Maybe it will come back in our children's time and they will begin to do history. Don't forget we had an interim government in this country.
Of course.
We had it before. It wasn't an ideal situation. And somebody is capitalizing on it today. And I'm telling you, before the election time, they will see some people canvass. You see this position that is coming up.
Become more popular.
Become more popular.
Okay.
Do you understand? So we shouldn't allow that. And for me, I believe the best form of government, you usually say, is democracy. For me, I think it's the dumbest form of government because you allow people who do not even know the English. You want somebody to go and manage an economy for you, and you don't even know economy yourself, and you vote for him to go and manage, and you don't know how he's going to do it. He just tell you and you take it.
All right, Mr.
Fosse,
for purposes of clarity, are you for or against the interim government?
I am not for or against it, but I'm saying that nobody should criticize him, nobody should crucify him.
He's entitled to his opinion.
He's entitled to his own opinion.
Okay, so what's your perspective? So what's your perspective? You can't sit on the fence.
Okay, my perspective is we are going to election, which we are prepared to do. Let's go to the election. And my only thing that we can say right now is that when we vote, we should call on all Nigerians to come together.
But
in other countries,
calling for an interim government is against even having an election.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
Of course.
You can't have an election and have an interim.
Mr. Fosse, that's contradiction.
No, what I'm saying is not contradiction, Mr.
It is contradictory.
Wait, listen. Let me say it like this. If we call on interim government today, do you think Okotie will make the first 50 of the numbers that we want to put in those places?
I don't know, but that
he might just call for it. He might not even be the person that we are going to put.
He's already offering himself.
It doesn't matter.
He's telling himself.
It doesn't matter. We have Showore that is wanting to be governor. If you call him today, he will give you 101 reasons why he is good enough ahead of every other person to become the president of this state, of this country.
All right, let's hear Akogun's stand on
No,
this.
I'm just enjoying the because my intervention is going to be a little bit long because of the small children or those who are much younger watching at home. Nigeria is not at the precipice, not even by a mile.
Okay.
We have challenges, but we are not at the point where Nigeria is about to tip over. The problem I see basically is the fact that people are looking at the numbers and it doesn't gel with their own projections. And they're now looking for reasons to topple the boat because they don't have the numbers to change the status quo. It's okay, that's why people like this can come on board and make such outrageous demands for national government when there's a constitution in place and the role and the manner to change that constitution is well spelled out for everybody to follow. But again, I understand, if you don't have the figures, as you say in Yoruba, if you try to pull the thing, it doesn't come down. Break it. So there are people that are at the point of breaking it because they don't have the figures to change it. So it's for those who are young at home. Basically, they don't take what we are saying there, that Nigeria is in trouble. No, we are not. We have challenges.
I don't agree with that.
We have serious challenges.
We have challenges.
We are not at the precipice.
Okay.
It's a far different thing. Don't let's create the impression that things are bad.
Okay.
But we are not yet a banana republic. We are not even an orange republic yet.
Okay.
Not to go to a banana republic because we have to be careful. We are people, over 40 million people are listening to us.
Mr. Kogu,
the
separate
that's the
Mr. Kogu,
hold on.
You heard it was said.
All right, let Akogun
That's why I
say.
kept quiet.
Okay.
That's the background for
Go ahead.
so that
Go
people
ahead.
don't go around and say, I heard it on Galaxy, the Nigeria is about to follow.
I will explain.
Now back to the original pattern. Change is constant, and we cannot run away from it. In fact, some countries, they call it the 7 or 8 year itch, when we just want to get rid of the present government. It doesn't matter how well you've performed. They're just tired of seeing the same faces and want to change. That is one scenario. The other scenario is the fact that People don't like the present government, and they've not provided enough tools for people to like them. But it doesn't change the reality that they are governments. And the only way to get out of this government without changing the rules is to get the figures to chase them out. Unless and until that is done, you must understand the system as it were. And the system is very clear. Okotie is a man who has contested, who has lost out, and who has realized, like some other people too, that they don't have the figures to really make a difference. So they come up with all these Kokememi solutions, like a national conference, like what did you call it? Interim national government, funny things. But the constitution is not perfect. It's a very bad constitution. But you and I know the process of changing it. Yes. I've been using it for the last 20 years. How come it's only when election is near, 3 months to go, that people have these fantastic ideas or solutions that are not even part of the problem?
Okay.
That's my take, because, like I said, things are extremely bad. The only way to change things is to vote.
Throw the ballot.
And to vote in the ballot, you must have the numbers.
You cannot
if you don't have the numbers,
stop people from having opinion.
No, opinion is okay. But we have a platform that is national. I'm saying this because, you know, I'm on almost all platforms. And what I try very hard to do is not to create the impression that Nigeria is dying.
Mr. Agogui, is it until you become, you know, prostrate that it now becomes
again, what are the
Mr. Agogui, no, let me come in there. You've been talking for.
Let me ask you.
Okay.
What are the parameters? Give me 6 parameters.
Okay, no, see, Mr. Agogui.
One at a time, so that we can enjoy each other.
Let me make this point.
Okay,
Mr. Agogui is here.
All right.
And these shites have been killed over time at the slightest provocation. IPOB members have been shot at, killed at the slightest provocation. You know, Nnamdi Kanu, as far as we are concerned, you know, disappeared. Army raided his house. Things are, you know, you understand? Military occupation there, you know, headsmen, you know, become so prevalent. The headsmen attack and all that become so prevalent. Rape. So are these things not preconditions to a precipice? Are all these not things leading to, if an accident wants to happen, wouldn't you notice, you know, somebody running into the road and then, you know, so is it until the car hits the person that you know that accident? So you should be able to anticipate it. I'm of the view, and Okobu needs to convince me here, that we have not gotten to the level where it's not challenge. Challenge is minor. You are trying to paint it. You are using adjectives to qualify it. The truth of the matter is that this country has never been like this before. This country has never been this disunited. This country has not even during the Civil War.
Mr. Peter, for me, I think since I grew up and I started having sense, like you said earlier, I have never.
Please, for those who don't hear correctly, he said sense.
Sense.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I started having sense, like Peter said.
He's a Calabar man, so. You know what
I have never seen the subsequent year better than the previous year.
Okay.
For me, the last year has always been better than this year. All right? And I want to find a situation where a Nigerian can build itself to a point where they say today that in US, they have jobs that they don't have people to apply to those jobs. Those are not menial jobs. Jobs created, not by government, by the working of the government for individuals to create them.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There's a country called Somalia, where people are holding courts in certain areas when there are no central governments. There used to be a country called Ethiopia before they came back, where people had fiefdoms. That means there are countries that I know that the presidents will have to do, negotiate with militants to even move out of the streets.
Like Ashaba.
That is precipice. You and I still move around. And like I said, challenges are, because two things. A man said there is shites, fine. There is Boko Haram, you've forgotten that. There are kidnappers, there are bandits in the northeast. These are still challenges. The apparatus of state has not collapsed to the level that the kidnappers are holding the entire Sokoto Zamfara and Guzo together and putting a flag that is
holding us hostage.
Abdication of power to that. Nobody in Lagos has taken over and put a flag and said,
I get what you mean.
No,
and I also get what you mean too.
This man, of course, I try to give him time, I'm going to chase him away. But having said that, you are on my list. So we again,
I'm going nowhere.
The point I'm making is what we have to be responsible adults. We have challenges. The challenges you and I know in private.
Right.
What we can do.
I
but
know.
this is a public forum.
Yes.
And we don't want to create a new set
Anxiety.
for people that
and
don't
tension.
know. Because you keep saying we will not fall off.
But are you aware that somebody said, and I think that was a Shomole, that even if they lose the election, they will not hand over to PDP? Are you not? Are these people not preparing the ground?
Somebody said he will beat up the INEC chairman if Jonathan did not win.
So are we not trying to build up, the momentum
politicians
leading to that?
Peter, politicians are allowed to do the rhetorics. You and I are public analysts. It's our job to make sense of no sense.
Of the nonsense. Okay.
You understand? That's our job.
All right, let's see how the viewers are
us.
reacting to the two stories we've dealt with today. This one is on the Khashoggi story and says, well, many misery is surrounding the late Khashoggi's death deal. But this is how people take a person of his caliber. It's totally not acceptable. Mr. Akubo sent that one in. This other one is asking, please, when are you people discussing the issue of Jubril in Aso Rock? Never. We are not going there. Okay, for obvious reasons. All right.
There's no Jubril in Aso Rock.
There is no Jubril. First of all, we're not aware.
In fact, on my
when
Facebook
I get
page,
the memo.
On my Facebook page, I refuse to. It's not true.
When I get that memo. Well, I don't have it yet. All right, this one says, allowing Buhari to run Nigeria in 2015 was like giving a roadside mechanic a Bentley to fix. The results were predictable and have now been confirmed. Re-electing him in 2019 is like allowing the same mechanic to fix your jet after destroying the Bentley. All right, this other one says, it's not about Trump. Like him or not, no US president will do anything about it, not even Obama. Remember, sarin gas attack is international politics. And for the Okotie story, LOL. All right, this other one says, hi, this is Phil Arabame. Okotie's recommendations seem instructive, but it can't happen under this present regime of glutinous looters.
You can't just throw it away. Examine it, analyze it, look at it.
We have so much more. This other one says, what did Buhari mean by next level? Is the worst level of Nigeria. Last time
that's the next level.
That is the next level now.
Yeah. All right, so true. PMB's government has divided Nigeria as never before. He does not even comprehend that his actions are so divisive. So sad. So out of it. Remy Mowo from Oworo. Send that one in. Eric Akin Ejabike says, I support Reverend Okotie because the people that will get things right for this nation will never get to power through voting. He does have a point.
They are coming back to my table now.
He does have a point. All right, gentlemen, we have one more topic this afternoon. Let's quickly get into that. Presidency unveils APC's next level plan.
You should have waited for that.
He's
a fan of the president.
No.
As the campaign season for 2019 elections officially kick-started yesterday, 18th, President Buhari and the APC have released their roadmap. And the roadmap themed next level is geared towards seeking re-election across all 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Well, the roadmap includes, in part, because I can't basically read everything. It says, 4 years ago, we promised Nigerians real change. And while the road may have been difficult, over the last 3.5 years, we have laid the foundation for a strong, stable, and prosperous country for the majority of our people. He also talked about we being a nation at war and how they have tried to contain the issue of insurgency and brought some level of peace, to major parts of Nigeria, especially the Niger Delta area. He talked about agriculture, the social investment programs, poverty level of Nigerians, and also the education sector.
10,000.
Yes. So here we are. This roadmap,
Peter.
In the first place,
people on social media hilariously said.
No, not at all.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's campaign launch is the most illiterate I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I hope I'm not too harsh.
You are too harsh.
But look at the graphics.
Tell about NBC.
The graphics and whatever is discouraging. Is not inspiring. In fact, they faced a lot of criticisms. What level are you taking us to? Whoever that came up with that slogan did disservice to the president. And then look at the graphics. Even portray the president in a very bad light. In fact, this Barogi fellow online pointed out something and people have been laughing. You know the impression that people have about the president, oh, well, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's not aware and all that. You saw Sibajo, taking the steps, one after the other. Whether the president missed one step, a lot of interpretations were given to that. But this is not a brand,
summit.
Yes. If not, we can tear that thing apart.
Come on Friday.
You can spend
We can
Friday. Come
we
on.
can tear that thing apart. Let me tell you, the truth of the matter is that in an election year, an incumbent administration should be coming with a scorecard.
And not blueprint.
We have done A, B, C.
I get you.
So they haven't done that.
I get you.
Because there's nothing to
They
show.
did that partially though, but for the power sector. The power sector even has issues. Now, I thought that by now we would have grown beyond using this old meter. That everywhere people are saying let's have this prepaid thing. So that aspect is failed. Well, to some extent, not a very large extent. To some extent, power, because last time Akogu was here, Akogu said there was power in his area. But my office,
don't forget this place is being powered by generator.
This place is patience.
It's not just about the commercial.
You're powering this place by
domestic
my office
consumption.
is just off Allen.
When we are talking about power today, it's not about domestic consumption.
2-3 hours a day.
Commercial consumption.
So, sir, please, in my conclusion, a lot still needs to be done. They have failed Nigerians. They are not given a scorecard because they have not done anything. And they didn't do anything because they ignorantly spent 3 years demonizing Jonathan.
I'm blaming the past administration.
Past administration.
Okay.
They spend that time.
All right, we have to move to the next person.
3.5 years, not 3 years.
Because he's a member of APC.
All right, quickly.
Say something better.
Okay, you want me to talk as a member of the APC or as an analyst?
Anyone.
No, he's not a member of the APC.
I'm not a member, but it's okay. I've seen parties for APC, that's what you want to say. Which is normal in any democracy, just like CNN and Fox. Anyway, the point here is that I looked at the document and I just rushed through it. Because what I was looking for, I did not see. Basically, it's the fact that at what percentage has the party met the aspirations that people yearn for? I don't mind if you score 20%, but show me a progressive chart that I can follow. For example, from power 3,000 to 7,000, I promise you 50,000. That's 30%. On infrastructure, we are looking at, let's say, 36,000 roads. We've done about 17,000. That's 40%. That will be a gap.
That's the scorecard Mr. Sangui is talking about.
But what they do is simply to mishmash, take a little bit there, take a little bit there, and keep making promises based on promises that were not kept. So which now becomes unkept promises upon promises. But having said that, I still think the next level is to see what will happen in February.
Okay.
And that will determine the direction that Nigeria is going.
All right. Mr. Godi, quickly.
As a brand reporter, I want to take it from the brand perspective. I usually do not care about those rhetorics, those manifestos, those highfalutin words, bringing the best of those who can write English to put the paper for you. I don't really believe in all of those things. I believe in this is how you have made me from not in 2000, before 2015, my children used to eat twice a day. But since Buhari came in, I've been able to feed them 3 times in a day, the normal 3 square meal, and with good nutrition, not just food. That is my own. That's 1. 2, I think this morning I posted something on my wall and asked. I wake up in the morning for the first time since 2003 that Mr. President, the Iron Man that we used to know, because it has always been portrayed, positioned, repositioned as the Iron Man. But this morning, I see a comical Mr. President. They are trying to dilute the value, the brand essence of Mr. President. And you now sketch him. It's only in case, if you look at paper, if you want to laugh, you go to those cartoon areas. So they have made our president look like that. They want to reposition him, which is a very bad brand. It's not going to work. I think Mr. President should just be positioned as a disciplinarian that he was, a corruption fighter, because if you must fight corruption, you must look muscular.
All right. I wish we had more time to go on and on and on and on. All right. Chief Nkem from Ikeja says, why do you always bring PDP people to your program? APC has performed and we will see in the elections.
He's APC man now.
He's APC.
See, he's APC man.
He has some affiliations too with it. So it's a balanced table, please. This is not a partisan anything. All right. All right. This other one says, yes, next level of poverty, hardship, starvation, store of pain. Next level indeed. From Kaduna, and much, much, much more are coming in on this topic, but our time is fantastically up, as I like to say. It's been a very interesting program this afternoon. Everybody, we're lit, we're on fire. Thank you for coming through. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Mr. Godi the Great of Ose.
Join us on Friday.
And thank you, Mr. Peter Osambi.
Friday.
Thank you.
Join us on Friday.
Thank you, Blossom.
Where's the venue?
Thank you.
No, we have said that on Friday.
We'll be back at noon. Hope, of course, you join us. Have yourself a good day. Bye for now.